Good afternoon. This is News Around the World on Pensioners 106.7 FM, Agbarigo, Onireke Ibadan. I am Laolu, Olatunbosun. First, the top stories. Police vow to track down killers of Oyo Commissioner's driver. Federal government releases circular for new minimum wage. Alleged dead Kenyan plane stowaway re-emerges. And in sports, Super Sun Eagles begin World Cup campaign on Friday. Now the news in full. Some yet to be identified gunmen have attacked the Oyo State Commissioner for Lands, Abdurrahim Abiodun, killing his driver in the process. His orderly was also attacked by the gunmen, is currently hospitalized after sustaining bullet wounds. The attack, which reportedly took place last night, happened just after the commissioner was dropped at his residence in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Police Public Relations Officer in Oyo State, SP Benga Fandi, confirmed the attack in a telephone interview with Pensioners FM.
There was an attack on his vehicle yesterday. The driver was attacked and was shot. One other policeman also, the driver that was shot and he died. And then because of that part, and there was people mortuary. Our police sergeant also sustained gunshot injury in the dastardly attack around 8:30 p.m. yesterday night.
Fadi, who said no arrests have been made yet, noted that the police have commenced investigation into the killing, vowing that the killer will be arrested soon. The sponsor of the Protection from Internet Falsehood and Manipulations Bill, also known as the Social Media Bill, Senator Mohammed Musa, has defended the bill. Speaking during an interview, the lawmaker who represents Niger East said the bill was intended to sanitize the social media of defamatory comments, citing the recent rumor of President Muhammadu Buhari's alleged marriage to a female minister as a typical example.
Part of it is the use of the social media. I give you one simple example, and I will cite this example with the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. You are very much aware of what trended in the social media, that Mr. President is taking a second wife. Almost everyone knows that that is not true.
But that position was vehemently faulted by a former lawmaker, Senator Shehu Sani, who believes that the bill was the brainchild of the executive in its attempt to prevent Nigerians from criticizing government's action.
A law that regulates the social media, we see it as a draconian piece, one that can be misused and abused by the workers of power to silence critics, to silence dissent, and to be used as a roadmap to an autocracy.
On his part, a human rights lawyer, Femi Falana, vowed to sue the National Assembly if it goes ahead with the bill, urging President Buhari not to make the mistake of assenting to it if it gets to him.
Any attempt by the government to erode or abrogate our freedom of expression should be resisted. Quoting the court should be resisted. And in this case, we are going to strike down this attempt to follow public debates in Nigeria. Anybody who's offended, the same Mr. Falana is trying to take a second wife, and it's not true. My choice is to go to court.
In a similar vein, the Nigerian Governors Forum, after its meeting last night, condemned the proposed death penalty on hate speech. The least paid federal worker on Level 1, Step 1 will earn 360,000 naira per annum, while the highest paid at Level 17, Step 9 will take home 6,215,435 naira. These are the highlights of the minimum wage payment template released by the federal government. The circular on the new wage was signed by the acting chairman of the National Income, Salaries and Wages Commission, ECPO, NTA. In the breakdown, a worker on level 1, step 1, will earn 360,000 naira per annum, while level 1, step 15, will earn 422,566 naira per annum. The circular also showed a breakdown of the annual take-home of other categories of workers. The circular had been sent to all state chapters. Meanwhile, workers in Lagos will begin to receive the new national minimum wage as the state government has approved the sum of 35,000 naira for its employees. The payment of the new wage will commence in the November 2019 salary cycle. This was consequent upon a series of meetings and discussions held between the state's Joint Public Service Negotiating Council and the government. However, discussions are yet to begin on the accumulated arrears, which the state promised would begin soon. World Prematurity Day is significant in the celebration and creation of awareness on preterm babies. Our correspondent, Yetunde Oke, in this special report, examines the day as celebrated recently.
World Prematurity Day is celebrated internationally every 17th November. This day acknowledges the journeys of preterm infants and their families, as well as raising awareness of the challenges faced by families and children born preterm. This day is important as the incidence of preterm births worldwide is increasing rapidly. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, every year an estimated 15 million infants worldwide are born preterm over 3 weeks early. Sadly, the complications of preterm birth are among the leading causes of death in children under the age 5. Also, World Prematurity Day is an opportunity to call attention to the heavy burden of death and disability and the pain and suffering that preterm birth causes. It's also a chance to talk about solutions. A public health nurse, Latifa Ajishafe, said World Prematurity Day is a day set aside to celebrate premature babies and to also give support to their mothers.
Let me quickly talk about World Premature Day. Yes, World Premature Day is just like a day that is being set aside to celebrate our premature babies and to give support to their mothers. So, what do we mean by preterm birth or preterm babies? These are babies that are being born before 37 weeks of gestation. Usually, a pregnancy should last for like 40 weeks, but some babies are being born before 40 weeks. So, maybe from 37 weeks or something even earlier than 37 weeks of gestation, that's 37 weeks of pregnancy. So, they are being referred to as preterm babies. So, what are those advice that we should now give to these babies' parents? Yes, the mothers should understand that the babies need some special needs. There are some things that the mothers need to put into consideration.
Ajishafe also mentioned a particular care mode called kangaroo care, which the parents can use to enhance the rapid growth of the child. And this is not for the mother alone, but also the father.
Kangaroo care. That is a whereby they use a specialized cloth to wrap the baby. They will teach them in the hospital. So the baby will be, they will remove all the clothes, the diapers from the babies. Then they place the child. The mother will place the child on a bare chest with no bra, no undies. Then will now wrap with a particular wrapper. Even the father can give support to the mother, can also help to partake. This is another way of giving support to the mother. Can also partake in the kangaroo care.
She also mentioned some of the factors that can lead to prematurity or preterm birth.
What are those things that can now bring about this prematurity? For the fact that they are a known mother, been giving birth for like at least that's my 3rd child or my 4th child or my 5th child, does not mean you cannot give birth to a premature baby. So what happened in the previous gestation will happen in the next one. History of previous prematurity babies can also lead to another one. Somebody that have the history that has given birth to a premature baby can still have another premature baby, or somebody that have incompetent service. What I mean by incompetent, that is the service is not adequate enough to carry the pregnancy to term.
Some mothers have this to say on preterm and prematurity birth.
My take on preterm infants. Well, preterm infants exist, yes. It isn't the fault of the baby to come early. Neither is it the wish of the mother to come before term. But then the baby has arrived preterm. My take on preterm infants is that the needful should be done.
Premature birth. I've never experienced it. I don't know anything about it. I just know that those children are just like any other child. So there's nothing bad about them once they are well taken care of. And pretty much all birth is nothing that bad as far as I'm concerned. That's all I can say.
However, the immediate family and the society are advised to celebrate preterm babies as they would when a normal baby is born. For indeed, there is no much difference between preterm and so-called normal babies. I am Yetunde OK for Pensioners FM.
World Prematurity Day is marked every November 17. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has congratulated birthers who took part in the referendum held on Wednesday in what is known as the Sidama zone in southern Ethiopia. More than 2 million people were eligible to vote on whether they want their own regional state within Ethiopia's federal system. If the referendum passes as expected, the new state, largely home to the Sidama ethnic group, who make up about 4% of the country's population, will control local taxes, education, security, and laws. Counting is ongoing in the vote, which comes ahead of a national election next year. A man identified by UK broadcaster Sky News as a stowaway whose dead body fell from a Kenya Airways plane into a London garden in July has emerged. Cedric Chivonge Isaac, who is being held in prison for an unrelated crime, has told Kenya's leading newspaper, The Daily Nation, that Sky News used pictures from his Facebook page to erroneously identify him as Paul Manyasi. Prison authorities said last week that the man shown in the photos used by Sky News was actually Cedric Chivonge Isaac and has been in their custody for 3 months. Kenya's government spokesman, Cyprus Oguna, says the Sky News report was not correct. A top United States diplomat has told an impeachment inquiry that he followed President Donald Trump's orders to put pressure on Ukraine to investigate his Democratic rival, Joe Biden. Ambassador Gordon Sondland said the instruction came from Mr. Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. The inquiry is assessing if Mr. Trump withheld military aid to Ukraine as a precondition, but the president denied any wrongdoing. It is illegal in the United States to seek foreign help to gain electoral advantage. Mr. Biden is one of the top contenders for the Democratic nomination for the 2020 presidential election. More than 1,000 Australian women have won a long-running class action lawsuit against Johnson & Johnson over vaginal mesh implants. Australia's federal court found that J&J subsidiary Ethnicon failed to warn patients and surgeons about the risks posed by the products. The implants were commonly used to treat pelvic organ prolapse and incontinence after childbirth. The case is one of a series of lawsuits J&J faces over the products. Some patients said they had suffered chronic pain, bleeding, and severe discomfort during sexual intercourse after having the mesh surgically implanted. This is Pensioners 106.7 FM. We'll be back with sports news. Two-time African champions Nigeria will begin their campaign at this year's FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup finals in Paraguay when they clash with world number 2 Portugal in Asunción on Friday. Nigeria earned a ticket to feature at the 16-team World Cup finals after finishing second at the CAF Beach Soccer Cup of Nations held in Egypt in December 2018. Champions Senegal is the other team flying Africa's flag in Paraguay. This year's finals will kick off on Thursday and ends on Sunday, December 1. Nigeria, winners of the African title in 2007 and 2009, and quarterfinalists at the World Cup in 2007 and 2011, will campaign in a fierce Group D that also has world number 1 team Brazil and Oman ranked number 14 in the world. Nigeria is ranked 21 in the world. After their first game against Portugal on Friday, the Super Sand Eagles stick to the beach against Oman on Sunday, November 24, and then against Brazil 2 days later. Deontay Wilder has warned Luis Ortiz ahead of the WBC heavyweight title defense on Sunday morning, telling the Cuban the fight will not go to the distance. Wilder has granted Ortiz a second shot at his WBC belt at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, having already beaten him in a thrilling fight in March 2018. To end news around the world, another look at the main stories. Oyo State Police Command has vowed to track down killers of the driver of Oyo State Commissioner for Lands, Abdurrahim Abiodun. The federal government, through the Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, has released the circular for the new national minimum wage. An alleged dead stowaway who was reported to have fallen from a plane in London has emerged saying his identity was wrongly used. And in sports, the Super Sand Eagles will begin their World Cup campaign on Friday against Portugal. For any information, reach us on 080-2223-73535 or 081-200-86270 or visit us at Pensioners House, Agbarigo, Onureke, Ibadan. The news editor is Pajan Sabi, and on behalf of the production crew, I am Laolu. Olatunbosun, good afternoon.
Pensioners FM, Agbalode.
Regina, how do you describe a good radio station?
It educates, give information, and entertain.
You got it right, girl.
Yes, she really did. And the good news is we have a radio station that gives it all, even more.
Wow! We want to know.
Pensioners FM 106.7 is the radio station. We broadcast to every nook and cranny. We train you with logical planning of our programs. We remain your number one source of information. Talk of adverts, no station does it better. Pensioners FM 106.7, Voice of Liberation.